Well, we might be starting a minute or two early, but anybody comes in late can talk. So frustrated.
It happened.
6:59. I wasn't ready.
All right, well, welcome to the December 5th Mount Borough Council meeting. We'll start as always with the citizens wishing to address council.
I have a wish to address the council.
Go ahead.
So I'm the resident on High Street that is going to get chickens. And I saw the recording of y'all's meeting last month. So I want to just come and talk to you guys and tell you what we're gonna do with the chickens. So I have some information for you guys.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes.
Okay.
So as to not monopolize the whole meeting, and
Sure.
we'll hear you out, and then we'll go from there.
So basically we have a coop and there's a little run that's attached to the coop. So the chickens will never ever ever be loose. We're never ever ever going to have roosters. So they're not loud. So they don't pose any safety threat to the community because they will be locked up the whole time. And if we choose to take them off the property, then we'll put a leash on them. But besides that, there's nothing in the code specifically against chickens. I looked through all of the code. I printed out the relevant parts of it for you guys to look at. So having chickens isn't against the code. But we did want to come to this meeting today not to talk to you guys about the code, but to try and get feedback from our community. So we invited everyone from the community. We told them we were coming today. Especially my neighbor. I would love to hear if you have any feedback or concerns about the chickens. So we already wrote a letter. I put a copy of it in your packet to all of our, we walked up and down High Street and we went a little bit down Division Street and we talked to each of our neighbors and none of them expressed any concerns to us. When we talked to you, you didn't express any concerns to
You
us.
didn't hand me a letter. It was given to me by my daughter.
Okay. So my daughter did hand you a letter herself. We went on to your porch and
She
did that.
wasn't even home.
All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. You addressed us, not the neighbors. Let's talk to us.
Okay.
This is your time to
So I'm
speak
here
up.
to get feedback from my community because it's not against the code, so we're gonna get chickens. But if there's some way to do that that makes the community happy, we would love to get feedback about that.
So I gotta ask a couple things, and while the residential code doesn't forbid chickens, it states what's allowed. And livestock of any forms, fowl, anything is not strictly stated in there. And if we go to the agricultural section of the town, the agricultural district, there's animal units defined as equal for 1 horse, 1 cow, 1 pig, 1 sheep, or 1 goat per 2 acres. Further defined would allow fowl as follows: 2 per 1 acre. I don't believe your property is even 1 acre.
Okay,
I would assume it's about a third,
it's 0.87.
0.87. So it looks like even if it was in the agricultural district, you would be allowed 1 chicken. But
So
you're
we're
not in the agricultural district.
so that limit doesn't apply to us. We're in residential.
That's where it's allowed. So I appreciate all of this and I'll look through it, but I'm not gonna sit and debate you. As far as I'm concerned, everything that I looked through, your property doesn't apply because it's not in the agricultural district. It doesn't point it out because you're not allowed.
So our code specifically defines agriculture.
But you're
The
not
Mass
agri-
Jewett code.
But you're not agriculture, you're a
Exactly.
residential
We're
lot.
not, and I would like to explain to you that the definition does not apply to us. The
Everything is zoned that way. You are zoned in a residential area, where bar of the could be out there zoned agricultural area. When you're
So
zoned
we're not
residential,
actually performing agriculture.
no, but you're still doing
Agriculture.
chickens.
Agriculture as defined by the Mount Jewett Code says poultry husbandry, livestock fed from garbage or offal. So our chickens aren't gonna eat garbage or
Are you
offal,
gonna sell your eggs?
and we are not going to breed our chickens, so that's not husbandry.
Your initial letter,
If we sell our chickens, then that would be a home occupation, which is explicitly allowed by
your initial
residential
letter
code.
said meat chickens, meat rabbits, laying chickens,
So, we
selling
went and
of-
talked to a lawyer about the code after we received some of Barb's messages that she was gonna refer us to the district magistrate. Cause I don't wanna get referred to the district magistrate. So the lawyer told us that while the code was probably intended to stop people from having backyard chickens, that's not how it was written. Backyard chickens aren't even addressed. But the rabbits were, because that would be animal husbandry. So we're not gonna get meat rabbits, we're not gonna do that. We might have some rabbits as pets. But today we're talking about the chickens. And the chickens are not
How do
included
we-
anywhere in this code.
Okay, so if we let you get chickens, okay, you're gonna have chickens up there, that's.
So I'm
No,
going to get
listen,
chickens.
no, that's not what I said. I'm asking the question, you're not putting words in my mouth.
Okay,
I said, if we allow you to get
so
chickens.
you don't get to allow me or not?
You're ready to reject my chicken.
All right,
If
so,
you get chickens, what, okay, so we say you can get chickens, how am I supposed to tell the lady down the road
Mhm.
that wants chickens we've already fined and sent to the magistrate for getting chickens?
Mhm.
How are we supposed to explain that to her, cause you're throwing a fit and you're wanting to bend the rules to make it good for you?
I don't believe I'm throwing a fit. I'm not the one making huge gesticulations and raising my voice. I don't, her situation is unfortunate that she was not able to have the resources and the time that I
Right.
have. I don't know what you can do for her situation, but hers is different than mine.
okay, so allowed you your 5 minutes,
Thank you.
and here's what we're gonna do. You are more than welcome to do anything that you feel that you wanna do.
I am.
However,
Mhm.
we will do what we need to feel to do, and that will be to take you to the magistrate,
Okay.
and your attorney and ours, and the magistrate can determine what we feel is necessary.
Okay.
Now, here's my position on this.
Mhm.
And this is strictly my position, and I will not argue any more about it. And I made it clear
Mhm.
in the last video that you see, and the reason I said it was specifically, hopefully, so people would see it. This is a neighborhood.
Mhm.
Your neighbors live approximately 50 feet from you. You're very small. Chickens do not smell. I'm sorry, it's a bunch of BS or CS. I've been in plenty of chicken coops, and I appreciate the fact of what your letter said and everything else. I find it very unneighborly that you do this, and to ask your neighbors to come to a public meeting and defend their right to have a quiet neighborhood
Brett, I
without
invited
chickens.
them because they refused to talk to me. Every
Because
time
they
I
don't
try and
want
talk to
chickens
them
in
as a
your neighborhood.
reasonable neighbor, they avoid me. They run
Okay.
into the house and close the door. When
So-
my little daughter has a letter to hand to you, now you're gonna lie to all these
So
people
what we're
and say
gonna
she
do
didn't.
is, your 5 minutes are
So
done.
if there's any way that I can get feedback on why people are so angry about the chickens, that's something
Probably
we can
because it's a
work on.
neighborhood and they expect it to be a neighborhood, not a farm. So, what we're gonna do is, your 5 minutes are complete.
Thank you.
You do what you need to do, and we will follow suit in a manner that's appropriate.
Okay.
And that's all we can do.
So I hope that this council will actually look at the codes. You guys know there are issues with your codes. I've heard
Very
many of
well
you say
did.
that, right?
Yeah.
You know they're not gonna
Do
stand
you
up.
fill out a zoning permit form before you build everything up at your house? A zoning compliance
So-
form?
I hope that we can stop the waste, fraud, and abuse
That's what.
of persecuting my family for chickens we don't even have.
Yeah.
So I hope that the Bureau stops spending time, resources, and money and energy
I'm not spending any time. resources, and money.
persecuting
Okay.
a
But
family.
hey, we're
For
done.
something
You had
that
your
has
5 minutes. I appreciate you coming, and we'll do what we need to do
Barb,
moving
did they
forward.
fill out a
That'll be
zoning
all.
form? Okay.
Okay, any other citizens wishing to address council? Go ahead,
I only
Billy.
have a couple things to say, if
Oh,
that's
go ahead,
all right
Sandy.
with you. Because I live right next door, okay, the coop is maybe 15 feet from my property line.
So I just measured it today and
Hey,
it's.
It's
it is
my
not
time.
your
Sit
time
down.
to speak. You had your time.
If you know where the bars are that go up through the weeds, our lawns all go on an angle, okay? The pipe is right there in the weeds. It's right there, okay? One of my main concerns about having chickens up there, and not even the chickens themselves, you know, nothing is taken care of, all right? You know, we've lived here I've been here for 30 years, my husband's been here for 50 years, okay? We try to make our properties look nice. Scott and Denise had one of the nicest homes on the street. You know, nobody picks anything up. I know that they're children, I understand that kids have toys. You know, Ben kicked bricks down in my yard one day, all right? They're a little boy, okay, he's a little kid. Nobody ever picked them up. I went down, I went to mow the lawn, I had to pick the bricks up and throw them up in their yard, as he stood in the front yard and watched me do it. I'm not trying
You
to put
simply
down
don't like
little
us.
kids at all. No, that is not true. I came to your home, I introduced myself, I brought you stuff. I brought you cookies, I brought you popcorn when you first arrived. These guys introduced themselves, and then all of a sudden, you're building a big shed, you're putting chickens, you're gonna slaughter chickens, you're gonna slaughter rabbits. I don't want that in my backyard. And you can say that you're not going to do that, but you've posted it on Facebook numerous times. That, the same stuff, there's garbage out front that's been there for a month. And now they have chickens out back. We're gonna have rats. I don't want rats in my home. Plain and simple. And that's all I have to say. I'm not trying to put anybody down. It needs to be cleaned, and it needs to be
Tomorrow I'll
cleaned
collect all
up.
of the toys that bother you, so
I mean, there's a dump
I'll get all the toys out.
Alright,
10 miles down the road. You could take care of the garbage at
What were
least.
your concerns about
so,
the chickens?
alright, hey, this is not a discussion, she made a statement, you made your statement, you guys are gonna do what you think you need to do, we're gonna do what we need to do, we heard from the neighbors. Personally, I find it just, well, it doesn't apply because we're not in this zone, and it doesn't specifically forbid it. I find it ridiculous. So we're gonna do what we need to do, and we're gonna move forward with this, and we'll let the court deal with it. And if there's some sort of loophole and you get lucky doing it, why, we'll do our best to deal with it in this council as it sees fit. Other than that, hey, if you wanna talk about it elsewhere, that's fine, but we're gonna conduct
I
real
wanna
business.
talk about it outside of here.
Let's go.
Alright, Kelly, what you got? You look very festive. Let's get in more Christmas mood. What do you got?
Mount Jewett Hilltop Heritage Coalition had applied for a grant for playground equipment at the Gallup, Playground Park. Marilyn Compton was the one that filled out the forms. She wanted me to talk to you guys about it, because she doesn't want to talk about it.
But she's here.
But she's here, so we're proud of her. Anyway, we received of the 10,000 that we requested, because we feel that playground equipment obviously is expensive. This can be part of a project. It doesn't have to be just, we can only spend 5,000. This could go towards a playground.
Excuse me, I don't want the child to watch her own.
Playground equipment, could be 30,000. The 5,000 that we were granted and awarded can go towards that. So to us, this is a big deal. We do want to create some sort of team, so that we're on board with not only the community, not only the borough, but also the community, the residents and everything.
For committee.
Committee, work days, et cetera, just to make sure we're on the same page of, this is what the community's asking for, this is what the borough is looking at, because I know you guys are doing stuff up there too. We kind of all we wanna be helpful towards that, and we feel that since the budget is coming up, we know the playground and the parks department didn't always receive monetary, so we're hoping that this helps us get in that right direction. When we had presented and submitted our grant proposal, we had proposed not only like a playground equipment, but also benches around that playground equipment for the families, just like you see in other parks. So, that is our proposal to get a work group club project, et cetera, that we will make more public, so that in the springtime we can have something going in up there. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So that grant's gonna be available for you by?
We are being presented it next Monday night at the Smithport Library, yes.
And that's what they said, is it doesn't have to be spent within a year, this could go towards a bigger project, and that is kind of our plan is, hey, if we find a swing that's 3,700, we can apply it there, and then the rest of it can go towards the next.
Which I did copy off something that, I just copied one, but if you guys like, and I do have, the original, application and our grant letter that we received telling us that we have it.
Good job, Marilyn.
Okay.
I'm very proud of Marilyn
Well,
for
see, when
this.
she did the grant, she did that.
I had it upside down,
Yeah.
that's why I was laughing. I was hanging by the swing, Carolyn.
Okay.
We are grateful because we are grateful because other organizations in town also received monetary grants. So it was actually, we were kind of, like, we received it. We heard the Trail Club got something, and then we heard Hannah, Hike for Hannah. We're like, have we gone to the post office yet? So actually, we're very proud that all three of our organizations will be receiving money from the McKean County Community Foundation. So.
As part of the Community Development Planning, Parks, Building and Permits, longest day in the world committee.
Yes.
I like the idea of a joint committee with members of the community, members of this council. This committee should be part of it, obviously, to put together planning with Barb involved, to come up with a plan that everyone is happy with, because we've been talking for years about doing things up there, so this could kind of get some of that moving in that direction.
We were also, since we were a 501c3, that's why we were able to apply for this grant. It's also a piece of equipment that if we leave town, we can take it with us, kind of thing.
Which we wouldn't, but that's.
We'll
Why
take
it's
the toys and go
allowed.
home. But that's why we were able to apply it and able to utilize it that way. It wasn't like concrete being poured on the ground that you would take.
We're
So.
gonna take our swings and go home, or upside down swings.
So,
Is the money allowed to be coupled with a nonprofit?
it is allowed to be coupled, I believe, for the greater good
It
of
can
the
be paired
project.
with any funds that
Yes.
exist for the project.
As long as it's going towards what we initially, so if you guys wanna put money towards the park, we can put it towards the
We can
playground
try to
and
raise
the,
money from other
yeah.
avenues.
And I'd like to, like maybe send out donation letters to the, businesses, Georgia Pacific or something, and see if they would like to.
I think that would be probably more effective after we have a plan.
Right, that's what I
But,
mean,
yeah, no, I think
after.
that's a great idea.
So, two more things.
2-year project,
5-year plan.
5-year plan though.
There you go. So a couple things, Wreaths Across America was successful again, for our 3rd year in a row. We sold over 660 wreaths, our goal was at least 600. In town, our extra wreaths will be going to, McKean Memorial and Lafayette, cemeteries, as well as Smethford's extras will be going there as well, because that is a new cemetery, but it also has over 2,000 veterans. So, it's a pretty big one, has over 10,000 people buried there, in case you didn't know. I didn't know that. But there you go, we will be doing that on December 17th, 10 a.m. If anyone is able to join us that day, please do so. We start here at the Volunteer Fire Department parking lot, and we kind of split up to our 5 cemetery.
Do you have the drop off time?
Yes.
Okay.
The wreaths will be dropped off at the Volunteer Fire Department on December 15th at 8:30 in the morning. We are getting 74 boxes this year that I'm aware of, so any help is much appreciated. If you are not able to join us, please be wishing for good weather, not only for us, but everyone across the world that day, for safety of their delivery of the wreaths, but also the placement of the wreaths. We also have a free store for the Hilltop Heritage Coalition that will be on December 10th from 12 to 4. That free store is for individuals who may not have money to buy gifts for their family, or if they need a shirt, need pants, need toys. If you have anything to deliver or drop off or donate that is new with tags or gently used, please reach out to Robin Blankenship. You guys may know her. We also have a community Christmas party that is Sunday, next Sunday.
11, you know her.
Yeah, from 1 to 6. If anyone is aware of any children that may not know, but Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there, the Grinch will be there, a Christmas mouse will be there. So we're super excited about that. I do not know if this is their 9th year, I'm not sure. But super excited, so if you're interested in volunteering, show up and join.
The 18th. The 18th.
18th also, thank you. I need to request to see if the Heritage Park is available on the 18th from 2 to 5, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We have some crazy people that want to dress up and be at the park for pictures, etc. For caroling, for hot cocoa, maybe for cookies, I'm not sure.
You just coordinate that with
Yeah.
Barb.
And I sent that to Barb earlier, so
It's available.
thank you so much. community Christmas tree is on its way, we're trying to find time to do that. Thank you.
Nice. Well, thank you guys for the effort in getting the grant and everything else, and all the other little things you do for the community. It doesn't go unnoticed and it's appreciated.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
No, Merry
Happy
Christmas. Want chickens? Okay. All right,
On our side 40.
Jimmy T.
I feel like the thorn between two roses here.
You look great.
But he'll be at the library, he'll be reading towards the night before Christmas on December 22nd.
Yep.
That's right.
That'll
See,
be
you're
good.
not
We should
short.
record that.
So, looking
James
forward
Earl
to that.
Jones.
Yeah.
James L. Trussell.
Yeah.
Wilson.
Just wanted to make a statement at the end of the year. I wanted to congratulate the borough on their sidewalk project, how it's come this year. In conjunction with our paving of Cochequa, I think we're making our whole neighborhood here
We
a
are.
better place to live.
Amen.
And I also mentioned to Brad about these maps. These are available off the Penn State Extension site. They're called a Sanborn Fire Map. And you can basically get the entire town laid out.
Oh,
So
that's
they have
cool.
them also for Hazelhurst and other.
Different
areas.
years all the way back, or?
Yeah, they have several years. There's like 1909, 1913, like 1903 or 1904s in there too, but
Cool.
it's just real neat, but that's what they're called, they're a Sanborn Fire Map.
The library has some of them in our back room too.
But it would be cool to have more to pretty this up.
Yep. And on behalf of Wally, Jim and myself, wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you.
Very
Merry
much.
Christmas to you.
All right, excellent. Anybody else? Not, we'll close down and go to the business portion of the meeting. Madam Mayor. Yeah.
First of all, thank you to the fire department and the fire police. It was a very tragic fire in our town, and I know everyone's very thankful for them and their efforts and of all the folks in surrounding towns. So, if you have extra, I know that they're looking for donations for the families who were displaced because of that fire. I believe Katie Jackson is collecting donations for them, and they have sizes and stuff for clothes. So, I think, if I have anything you could donate to those families, I think it would be very appreciated. And also the fire department is, they put out a call for donations for water and Gatorade and anything that might be helpful to those folks who volunteer, so we're very fortunate to have them. Congratulations to the Rotary on their great event. The Light at Mount Jewett was a very successful event, and Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus made a lovely appearance from the North Pole. That was a really great event, and thank you for having me speak there. Our sewer, ad hoc sewer committee is still in progress. We met with the USDA rep last month just to get some general information, and still kind of in the works with that. As Kelly mentioned, the community Christmas party is on December 11th on Sunday. I think a big congratulations to all the folks who put a lot of work into that. It's really, I'm helping out this year for the first time, and it's a true testament to our community of all the people who've donated, and it's really kind of magical for our community. So, just one other thing, a resident contacted me about a drainage issue. Thanks, Barb, for passing that on and handling that. But otherwise, congratulations to everyone on a great year. I know the library, Rotary, you guys have all done so much this year, and I think it's really great for our community. And thank you all for serving and all of your work.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
For me.
Make a motion, or entertain a motion to accept the mayor's report.
How much?
I will second.
Chris seconds, Chris motions, Jason seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Manager's report has been provided.
On behalf of the Hilltop Heritage Coalition, I'd like to apologize about the hay bales. We went back to look for them, but they were gone. So I didn't know what happened to them, but
Rick's
I see that we didn't take care of it, so I feel bad.
Rick's fairly efficient individual.
So hopefully they didn't put them out too much.
I think you'd be all right. He'd claim. Okay, motion to accept manager's report, anybody?
Motion.
Capola. Second.
Oh, the library thanks you for the heat too, and I know that was a group effort, so I appreciate that as well as the
We
community.
can talk about that when we get to the library.
Yeah. I need a second.
I'll say.
Well, second.
Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Borough manager's report, Barbara.
I don't have much. I've attached the budget. It was advertised for, in the paper for the 10 days that it has to be, that it was on display if anybody wanted a copy. Nobody came in. We also will have to pass the resolution along with it stating that taxes will remain the same. I also gave you a letter, from Ernie Rankin, that he's interested in being reappointed to the sewer authority. Brett and I took care of electronically signing off on the grant for the pocket park, the one that we had already got, and so we should be getting all the information of what we have to do probably after the new year, I would imagine. I sent a letter to a resident on Boyd Street, had a huge pile of debris, but it's taken care of. And then several other letters were sent for code violations. And I have, some of them we're working on, and some of the other ones have been taken care of.
Excellent. Okay, first of all, let's dispatch the two things on the maintenance report, so I'll do it later. 2023 budget resolution, I entertain a motion.
I'll motion.
Chris Park motion.
That's for the resolution.
Blankenship seconds, all in favor?
Was that just for the resolution, or the budget together?
Well, resolution, and then I would assume we approve, if we're doing it
Yeah.
past that, we approve it, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
together,
So
Together.
it's Chris and Rob.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, budget will be advertised, the resolution will be passed. Second.
Budget's already been advertised, you're passing the budget for next
Yeah,
year.
you know what I mean. Pretty all over it.
And that's with the $1 an hour raise, just wanna make
Yes.
sure, so nobody comes back and says we're not
Yeah.
allowed to do
Yes.
this.
For all
Okay.
employees.
Yes.
Okay, Ernie Rankin's letter of sewer authority, entertain a motion.
I'll motion it.
Chris Park motions,
I'll second it.
Blankenship seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I will abstain so they don't throw me in jail. Again, for any longer. Okay. Anything else? What'd you say? Anything else on the,
I choose not to vote. Oh, okay.
well, abstain, you're abstaining for a personal reason, or you
Just
just?
because.
You usually have
I don't
a
have to
reason
make a
for
reason.
abstaining.
Okay, well, I mean, usually it's for a bad reason, you don't want them, but
You're
okay.
abstaining.
No, there's nothing against him.
All right.
Don't take it that way.
Sounds fine,
He's
whatever,
abstaining.
I don't care, it passes anyhow.
Yeah.
Motion is carried, motion passes, so we're moving on. Motion to accept the borough manager's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the borough manager's
Jason
report.
Hughes, Tom Gear, all in favor?
Oh,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ernie, you don't gotta hang out any longer if you don't want to.
all right.
I heard you not, like, no sense making a stay, yeah.
Hey, thanks, see ya. No problem.
See ya, Ron.
We're gonna talk about it.
Merry Christmas, Jim.
The minutes have
Too
been
soon.
presented. If there are no corrections or additions, the minutes will be approved as presented. Okay, moving on, treasurer's report, payment of bills.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report and payment of bills.
Motion been made by Chris Park,
I will second it.
Jason seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Committee reports, buildings, streets, maintenance, what do you got, Ron?
Not a whole lot, I've been trying to keep in contact with the inspector for the sidewalk stuff as far as getting the street lights and the railings for the place where we're supposed to have railings, but the last I spoke with him, he still hadn't heard anything on that. I don't know if you've heard anything since.
I haven't either.
I haven't either, no.
Need to make an inquiry.
He was gonna check and get back with me, and he never did, cause I know he has my cell phone number, but, cause I'm just more than anything concerned about, places where we need the handrails.
Okay. You want me to do that, Brad, or?
No,
If that's all I have as far as, and other than I wanna thank, our council president for taking out of his time to go and bring his personal truck down to go out and plow the streets when both our trucks were down. You saw that in the maintenance report. And he took the time and, you know, the beating and wear and stuff on his truck to go out and do that. And, you know, which saved a lot of us phone calls from residents wanting to know how come streets weren't being taken care of. And so So, you know, we all need to be thinking on that, cause we'd had phone calls.
He also helped up at the fire
I did nothing.
too. So,
Yeah, I did, but I appreciate it, and, you know, it's help the guys out, and just, that's, you know, you run the community, and that's, I'm just fortunate enough to have decent things to be able to do, and got it taken care of, and just happy it wasn't a bigger store, but I appreciate the thanks on it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Okay, let's go. Finance and insurance, Chris, you got anything?
no.
Chuck, personnel?
I have a picture here that I have submitted, that I brought snacks in, okay? I brought snacks.
Rick has been fed his snacks, there's no complaints,
And
this is good.
I called an impromptu
We're ready to fire you.
meeting with personnel and,
2 employees eating.
yes, and all joking aside, it was a good meeting. We had some good discussion about the events of the year and going into next year, especially budget constraints that we're looking at. I did an evaluation report on the attendees. The one employee was off that day, and I'll catch up with him at a later date. I would like to say, and I think Barb will agree with me, that the maintenance crew and Barb as well, they do a good job in watching their expenses. They're frugal when they can be. And you know, it's very difficult for the maintenance people at times when they have to make a spur of the moment decision on buying a specific part or get repairs, but I think they do a good job. I think we have good people with a good attitude, and so again.
Well, I heard our borough manager's got the nickname of Sarge.
Oh, I'm not quite. I didn't quite get that, but I think that would be befitting. But I do have proof. I brought snacks in
And they were good, thank you.
yeah. But we had a good meeting, and I appreciate the work that our employees put in. End of report.
Excellent, thanks, Chuck. Okay, Jason, longest committee name in the world, what you got?
It is obnoxious.
Yeah, but you can change it.
As long as the council's okay with it, I would like to move forward with working with, I guess, the coalition to put together a task force for the park, since we need to be involved in everything that happens up there, so I'll probably reach out to anybody, because it shouldn't just be us, anybody who wants to be a part of it can be, so.
There used to be a park committee, you could always reinstate that.
Yes.
Yes.
Used to be 7 people from the community.
Yes.
They had their own
And
district.
and
Yeah.
I think this would be a great way, we could just create that, and then.
They had their own bank account and put stuff into it, was administered, so it was audited through here, but you guys can do what you want
I'm
in
all
that
for
way.
it, that sounds good.
There we go.
Alright, I don't have anything else.
Cool. Fire department, yeah, fire.
They did.
Two. I tore part of the building down with a borough backhoe, that's what
They got their new
Rob
tables
alluded
in.
to. Huh?
They got the new tables in
New
there.
tables in, and they're getting new garage doors being installed me. Other than that,
Things are going well up there.
good. Library, other than the heater,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
We had our open house yesterday, we had 40 people come through, we raised $144, but also the Rotary put in their endowment matching fund request for our fundraising as well that they did last year. And that's $1,000 matching fund, so that's the letter that was given to each of you, is our fundraising letter that will be going to all the community residents as well as businesses. I apologize if you get it twice, but you can donate twice, I won't stop you. We are looking forward to a new year in 2023. I thank everyone that's been patient with me taking on that position as the library director. The big thing that is coming from the library, from the state, is that there's been a mandate that has been kind of overlooked for 20 years that requires a full-time employee. We do not have to do that for 2023 as of right now, but 2024 they will be definitely looking at
The
us.
proposal is to work with the library board to try to get them to pay that difference, because we give what we give. And they can do more fundraising, they can do more aggressive efforts, so I've already started those conversations with them. I'm not going to support asking this body for any more than what it does down there.
And I think it would be a bad idea to also reach out to state representatives and state senators and say, this is a overreach, this is something that small communities shouldn't be forced to deal with. And if they were an unfunded mandate, it is just unreasonable. And maybe we could get someplace.
I have a question. Do they have a definition or what is the criteria of a full-time employee?
37 hours.
37
is
hours?
required, per capita, and that's
That's like the minimum.
that's the bare minimum for one full-time employee per 3,400 residents that it services. So my question when I started was, we only need half that because we only service about 1,900. And they said, no, the bare minimum is one full-time employee.
And
of 37 hours.
do they also stipulate how much that person has to be paid?
They do not give that stipulation, so that is.
Well, I mean, in reality, whatever the person gets.
Don't say that.
Yeah. I knew where it was going. I get it. That'd be a conversation.
I'm just saying, it's out there.
That'd be
We had the same thought, but that
You
would-
can extrapolate those numbers any way.
If they were to make that
You can.
proposal, I would personally think it's a very offensive proposal, but
Yeah.
it's their right to do what they want.
The other option I tried to was, we have a lot of volunteers, we even had, maintenance. We have not just maintenance that, from the community, but also we have janitorial services. I am not allowed to combine all of that into one person's hours. So even if we paid somebody, I couldn't apply that to the 37 hours.
So like
It
you
has to
said,
be
they've been holding off on implementing and enforcing this for like 15 years,
20
20 years, because they knew that it would impact a lot of small libraries, but there were changes up at the upper levels, and they are no longer able to hold back.
It's been pretty evident over the past couple of years, the state really doesn't care about small libraries.
Well, as we move forward, what we need to do is to make contact with our representatives, Mr. Causer and so on and so forth, both from the borough standpoint and the library board, and ask for as much help and assistance and information as to how do you expect us to implement this policy as we move into that.
There was a grant for ordinance officers. Kane applied for it. I wonder if there's grants out there, or will there be grants just for that purpose?
I don't know. The chances are it would only be covered 1 year or 2 years, which would help. I mean, that would be the
Yes.
stick in the eye, but.
So when this came down from our district, I proposed to our board to, obviously, I can't make the decision, but I had suggested, okay, we don't have to add 17 hours for 2023 or wait till 2024, maybe split it between the two so that we can see how it impacts us financially when we go halfway for 2023. And then 2024, it's not such a big hit and we don't know how it's going to impact us. So I'm trying all suggestions, I don't want them to just push it off to 2024 and then we have to do something.
Well, then we have a problem.
Personally, I could work there 40 hours and still have so much more to do. It is kind of sad that I'm only paid for 20 hours when I'm actually there 30 hours naturally. It's a hard job to do. I am one of the few librarians though that is not there every hour that our library is open, so I do hope you know that.
Part-time recruit.
I am also a part-time employee, and that's a big thing that we have to keep in mind is while our librarians may not be there for 37 hours, they're there every hour that the library is open, and I can't.
So, we're exploring options, so any of these other ideas, these are good.
Just
things
preparing you guys.
To let us know, because
And this is not for
Figure out
me
strategy.
personally, I did not create this whole hubbub going Kelly needs a raise.
We'll bear in mind and try to prepare for 2024, and at least you guys are thinking about it in the library board, and we'll move forward as we can.
So when you get your 2 letters, remember that statement.
And being a
Here to make the
volunteer
newspaper.
library, she does, there is a lot of work to do with that library.
Is that mandate through the Pennsylvania Association of Libraries?
EALA.
So if we wanted to sever ourselves completely from them and go independent, that'd be our option. But that would be a bad idea.
When you
Yeah,
start
lose all
doing
that.
that, it's not just the state aid, it's our tables that we got, our rugs that we get, the collections that we received, the grants that we've
Stuff.
received.
Yeah.
we would not be able to apply
It's-
for any of that, so.
It's not worth losing it if we could at all avoid it.
That's a hard one to, yeah, that's a hard one to
Anyway.
swallow.
That's it
We'll,
for
we'll
mine.
look at all options and see what we can do. Alright, sewer,
Merry Christmas.
still flowing downhill, a few issues, we're working on it. Their meeting's next week, go there if you wanna know what's going on.
That's at 10:30, right?
Wednesday.
10:30? Yeah, 10:30. We moved them for the winter time.
Yeah, which made sense.
Evening meetings suck,
They do.
so.
Here we are.
I know. Hey,
If everybody was retired, we could move these meetings, but everybody on that board's retired, or has a flexible schedule.
mhm.
So, at any rate, Hamlet Sewer Committee, you guys don't have anything, do you?
No, just
Alright,
one.
excellent. Old business, anything? New
Bike
business?
racks.
Bike racks.
Oh, yeah.
We'll add that when we have them out. We don't have them out. New business. We took care of those two things. I got some new business. Other than that, if anybody else got new business before I deal with my new business? Here's my new business. It was my intention, as long as this council will vote for it, to resign the presidency of the borough effective January 1. That'll give us time to redo the signing paperwork and keep continuity of the borough until set time. It's the beginning of my 18th year on council. I've been 6 years as president. This year, with all the stuff that I've dealt with the sidewalk project and some other things going on, it's drawn on me. This, I will say though, has been one of the better councils that I've served with. It really has. We've had some disagreements, we've had some ups and downs, but considering the last 6 years, the last couple have been fairly enjoyable. But I'm tired. And I believe it's time for maybe a new direction. I'm nuts and bolts government. I like somebody with a little more ideas. I have no intentions of resigning from council till my term's over. And may at that time consider running again. I don't know. But when you hold this seat for long enough, you find out you're the bad guy. And I'm tired of being the bad guy. I work very hard at this, and when you put as much time as I have into it, it drains you, and that's the only way to do it right. I think I did a good job, that'll be for everybody else to decide. So that being said, I'm gonna give the gavel to the vice president. I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Jason Hughes as our new president for 2023, and then until the borough has a reorganization meeting. He's been doing a lot in the community, has a lot of ideas, has worked on getting the pocket park, and I wish you the best of luck if you're willing to take it, and we can get a second on it.
I'll second it.
Okay, well, we give Chuck a second.
I believe
You gotta do the rest of it.
Alright, motion been made, seconded, for, I was gonna say Jay, but Jason to take over as, council president as of January 1st. We have a first and a second, everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
I'd say
Thank you.
Everybody's good.
You approve? I didn't hear anything come out.
I'll stay out of this one.
I
You're
want a
abstaining?
roll call vote, please.
Roll call.
Okay, Chris,
Yes.
Robin,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Frank,
Prefer not to vote.
Jason,
abstain.
Brett.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Motion's carried.
5 to 7.
When is the reorganizational meeting?
It'll be
Not
till
until another year,
Yeah.
2024.
2024.
Okay, so the other offices stand as is till 24, correct?
Unless somebody wants to resign. and-
All right, well, I just, without that, there's, I was under the impression reorganization
No, they're
meeting
always
was in
on
January.
an odd.
No.
Okay, I sit corrected, thank you.
It's after the,
I get it.
That's all we got.
I motion we adjourn.
Motion been made.
Motion been made and seconded.
All in favor?
Anybody opposed or everybody
Aye.
approved? Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Get out of here.